ये है इदाम, एक हिस्टोरिक टाउन है डच यानी कि नीदरलैंड का, जो कि 20 किलोमीटर है नॉर्थ ईस्ट ऑफ एम्स्टर्डम, कैपिटल ऑफ होलैंड और नीदरलैंड. This city is best known worldwide as the birthplace of Edam cheese and for its beautifully preserved canals, drawbridges and traditional Dutch architecture.
As the bus drives along now, we are driving on a kind of dike up above here. If you look at the sport fields down below to the right, watch carefully at the end of the sport fields because we're going to come up to the trees, and then there's another height difference with the water. It's coming up right about now. Look carefully behind the trees. See that water? That means those sport fields are probably a good 2 meters below the water level. That's quite crazy. So, but the Dutch seem to not mind. So.
नीदरलैंड्स के 26% लैंड जो है वो बिलो सी लेवल है और 60% पॉपुलेशन जो है वो फ्लड प्रोन एरियाज़ में रहती है. नीदरलैंड जो है इसने काफ़ी सारे एरियाज़ को सी एंड कैनाल से क्लेम किया है और इस तरह से सिटी बनी हुई है जो कि आप आने वाले सिटी में देखेंगे. उसके अलावा अभी आप जो ग्राउंड देख रहे थे और यही बताया जा रहा था कि ग्राउंड जो है प्ले ग्राउंड नीचे है और पानी जो है रिवर का वो ऊपर बह रहा है. तो इस तरह की बहुत सारी चीज़ें इस सिटी में देखने को मिलेगी और आगे के हम जगहों पर इस चीज़ को डिस्कवर करेंगे.
Houses in the middle of the fields. That's because of this swamp situation I was talking about. Building in the swamp is very complicated. You have to put pilings down to build the houses on top of. The pilings are sometimes 2 and 3 times taller than the house itself. And the Dutch, they only want to do that when they can share the costs and share the work with other people. So the result is that everyone ends up living in small spaces all together. Like take a look at the houses over here, all crammed right next to each other, even though there's all this space around us on the other side. So they say this helps build the Dutch idea of tolerance because everyone's in a small space all together, you know? But then culturally, the sense of tolerance, it comes out in unusual ways sometimes. Like, I don't know if you've noticed in Amsterdam yet, but some people don't care what you see. You think everybody would be trying to keep their privacy? The Dutch, they just think, no, we're just not going to worry about it at all. So they have a funny phrase about it. They say a good citizen has nothing to hide, but then they say they're not watching each other, but then secretly I think they all know what's happening, so I think they are kind of watching each other. But then I saw a postcard recently that actually summed it up really nicely. It was of these 2 old Dutch women sitting there looking kind of grumpy, and it says, God sees everything, but the neighbors see more. It's like, that's how it works here.
That's really
anyway, we're going to walk into the village.
घर जो है काफ़ी खाली है, तो काफ़ी घर छोटे छोटे छट के बने हुए हैं क्योंकि ये स्वयं को भरना होता है. जो दलदली ज़मीन है इसको भरना पड़ता है मिट्टी भर के और 4 लेवल तक भरना पड़ता है, उसके बाद घर बनते हैं. तो इसलिए सबके घर छोटे होते हैं नॉर्मली और उस घरों में जो है एकदम वो एक दूसरे के साथ आराम से रह लेते हैं. उनको कोई तकलीफ नहीं है चीज़ें शेयर करने में भी. और इनको द मोस्ट टॉलरेट पीपल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड भी बोला जाता है. इदाम एक काफ़ी छोटा सा शहर है. पॉपुलेशन जो है तकरीबन 8000 की है, बट इट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली ब्यूटीफुल. यू विल सी एवरी प्लेस लुक्स लाइक इंस्टाग्रामेबल पोस्ट. यू विल बी अमेज्ड बाय द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस सिटी.
I don't know if you've noticed in the Netherlands, but the names of streets tend to be on these blue street signs. Like behind us, take a look. There's that blue plaque on the corner there. It says Schepenmakersdijk in Dutch. Now, I don't know how your Dutch is, but some English or some German might be able to help you. Schepenmakersdijk, it just means the ship maker's dike. So in medieval times, the shipbuilders lived along this canal here. And actually, if you see, there's the one ship mast, just go up to the right there. There's still someone who restores old ships working and living there. So the tradition goes on. But Dutch, English, and German are all in the same branch of the language family tree. So the languages are very related to each other. Counting in Dutch, the first couple numbers, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you hear about why that is when we get up there. So yeah, we do have to cross this bridge here. This crowd gets out. Yeah. See what we can do here. Just follow.
ईदाम नेम ओरिजिनेट होता है एक डैम से, जो कि एक छोटी सी रिवर है यहाँ पे, ई और आई जी, जहाँ की फर्स्ट सेटलमेंट जो है 13th सेंचुरी में हुआ था और वहीं पे कुछ लोग आके बसे थे, तो इस वजह से इसका पहला नाम आई जिदाम पड़ा और बाद में ये ईदाम बन गया है।
If you stand here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So now I wanted to talk about the tower with the bells up above, because you can see the bells are on the outside. This is a special kind of musical instrument. It's called the carillon. They say you can find the carillon in the lowland countries. So lowland countries, that includes like Netherlands, Belgium, and just a little bit of northern France. There's one city in northern France called Lille that's still part of this like lowland area, and they still have these carillon instruments there as well. But the carillon, it's basically organized like a piano, but instead of piano keys that you touch with your fingers, it has wooden sticks. The sticks are in the same pattern as the piano keys, so you can find your way if you know how to play the piano. But instead of playing them with your fingers, you have to pound them with your fists, like this. So to play a song, it's like a workout going like this, and it's kind of crazy. But I was talking about this Dutch idea of tolerance, and how this affects the bell players is the Dutch, they're funny about their tolerance. So like, if we're tolerant, then we can say whatever we want. And a good, strong person has good, strong opinions, so I have to take my chance and show off. And so the bell players, like, you'll hear some pretty little sounds for the keeping of the bell, keeping of the time, but then sometimes it goes off into like Lady Gaga music, or like disco favorites. Or one time I heard the theme song to the Muppet Show playing from the top of the church tower, and I was like, what kind of church is this? This is crazy. But talking about the church though, if you look at the tower, there's no church attached to it. It's because the church used to stand where the white seashells are. The white seashells are the old floor of the medieval church. When I say medieval, this church was built somewhere around 11 or 1200. That's before.
चर्च से निकल के हम मार्केट की तरफ जाते हैं, यानी कि सिटी की तरफ, और आपको मैं बताता चलूँ कि ये शहर क्यों इतना इम्पोर्टेंट हो गया। तो डैम बनने के बाद से यहाँ पे शिप बिल्डिंग एंड फिशिंग का काम जो है बहुत ज़्यादा होने लगा, जिससे कि यहाँ पे काफ़ी पैसा आ गया इस शहर में, और ये शहर काफ़ी फेमस हो गया। बाय द 16th सेंचुरी इनफैक्ट यहाँ पे 33 जो है वो वार्व्स, जिसे कि हम लंगर बोल सकते हैं, शिप के लंगर्स, वो बन गए थे इस सिटी में।
Take a look at this lean on the corner house. It's like leaning off to the side. See?
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
it's quite crazy.
It's leaning, right?
Yeah.
Like a couple of years.
Yeah. The floors have to be readjusted. We're going to head down the street this way.
Yeah.
I just want to see where the bike's going.
The gap between the house.
Yeah. So the gaps in between the houses are funny too. So, yeah, we're going to head down this way. And then notice outside.
It is falling, right?
Yeah.
Or it is designed like this?
Well, I talk about it at the end of the street because there is good and bad leaning.
Okay. नीदरलैंड्स में घर जो हैं नॉर्मली आगे की तरफ झुके हुए रहते हैं। उनका डिज़ाइन ही वैसे बनाया जाता है ताकि जो है चीज़ों को खिड़की से लिया जा सके, चूँकि यहाँ पे जगह की काफ़ी किल्लत है।
here. The Dutch, they say there's good leaning and bad leaning. And so good leaning, it actually has to do with these hooks that come out of the front of some of the houses. Like if you look at the white window back on the little house over there, that hook is used for lifting things up on the front of the house. With all these small little houses close to each other, space is a commodity. They don't want to waste space on a big grand staircase, so they just lift everything up in through the windows. And so they say if the house leans forward to the street, they say that's good leaning because that works with the hook for lifting things up so it doesn't bump into the front as it goes up. But then if you see a house tilted like this, that's bad. That's the swamp in action. So for some reason in Edam, they've taken away a lot of these hooks at the fronts of the buildings. But if you're walking through Amsterdam, I know Amsterdam has a lot.
डच सोसाइटी को काफ़ी प्रोग्रेसिव और सोशली लिबरल माना जाता है। यहाँ बचपन में ही यानी कि बच्चों को शुरू से ही इंडिपेंडेंट और ओपिनियन एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए इनकरेज किया जाता है। इसीलिए यहाँ के लोग काफ़ी टॉलरेंट माने जाते हैं और डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन काफ़ी इनकरेज किया जाता है। इवन पॉलिटिकली डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन रखने के बाद भी दे कीप ऑन मूविंग, मतलब कि उसको बैगेज की तरफ कैरी नहीं करते हैं। फर्दर जो है हमेशा जो है नीदरलैंड ग्लोबल हैप्पीनेस एंड क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ रैंकिंग में काफ़ी ऊपर आता है बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दीज फ्रीडम्स।
Or a big brick wall. This is not a Notre Dame in Paris. This is not a St. Peter's in Rome. They say this is the effect of the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation, they say it was a reform movement to start, and it was trying to get rid of corruption in the medieval Catholic Church. They said they wanted to bring the church back to basics, like it should be about God and being good. And so they said decoration, that's extra. That's not necessary. In worst case scenarios, they view it as decadent. So they're like, no, just keep it simple, keep it plain. So, and some extreme Protestants, they even said no human images on the church. And so in this country, they didn't call the Reformation, they called it the image storm, because actually Protestants were attacking old Catholic churches, you know? But then even though they disagree in the discussion, they still talk to each other for the rest of the evening. And so it's like they kind of learned not to fight. They're like, oh, how interesting that you're so different from me, as opposed to the other thing where they just end up fighting. So that's where I feel like this country does a really good job. So anyway, we can move on. We've seen all of it.
Oh my God!